Welcome back. It is 8:47 on the dot. Happy Friday, everybody. We want to let you know that we had such a great time this morning at our annual School Spirit Challenge, all supporting Toys for Tots. Of course, the person here at the station that heads up our effort is our very own Catherine Barrett.
Yeah.
A lovely time, as always.
You know, it was a lot of fun, and thank you so much, because you guys are passionate and proud to be playing that part in the campaign, and you own this School Spirit Challenge, and I love it. And I thank you for that.
Well, we thank you because, I mean, just looking at all the toys that, I mean, packed that one van or the big truck that was right behind us, right behind all of the schools there. I mean, there had to have been a lot of toys collected today.
There were lots, thousands and thousands of toys. A couple of schools were like almost at 900.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did really well this year. I'm proud of them. And I'm grateful for the generosity of the community, because it's a tough year for a lot of families.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make difficult decisions about how they're going to spend precious dollars, both as donors and then as recipients, more people finding themselves in a position of needing help. And that's what this program is about. And so I'm really proud because of that, you know, that people responded.
Absolutely.
How many schools showed up here this morning?
You had to ask me.
Well, I was in the ballpark of like 15 or 16?
No, it was about 20.
Oh, about 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and we had 47, of course, collecting toys.
Right.
And we had a couple of groups where every school in the district was collecting, and then they had one group of kids come and do the on-air blurb. So,
so fun.
Yeah, so it was a nice year.
Yeah. So, Catherine, one thing I like, because we also mentioned like some of the new schools that joined. Like every year, our campaign grows with new schools to participate, right?
You know, I love the new schools, but I also love the schools that come back year after year after year. We had Charles Hackley Middle School in Muskegon, which was once known as Muskegon Middle School. They have been doing it for 20-some years, since we thought this project up. Yes. And, you know, we did this because we knew that, number one, families were up in the morning and getting ready for school, and that we could be talking to an audience of people in the morning that would maybe listen. And then also the idea of doing it with schools. No one knows better than a child how awful it would be to wake up on Christmas morning with nothing under the tree. And we wanted to do something about that. And so.
And we did it this morning,
and we raised between like
I think
$6,000
what's really cool, we're actually
$7,000,
looking at some of the coverage from earlier this morning. So this would have been in our 6 o'clock hour.
Look at those smiles.
I mean, we had so much fun with these kids. We were talking about new schools. Sheldon Woods Elementary from West Ottawa District.
Yes, this was their first year.
More than 100 toys collected in their first year. I think that's remarkable.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. You see, kids came in Santa hats. We had the Grinch out there. We had the gingerbread man who really was struggling in his costume. Finally, he couldn't get his costume on, and a Marine came up behind him and picked him up in the air, and they shoved his legs in the gingerbread costume.
That's hilarious.
Adorable.
Well, speaking of the Marines, you know, Sergeant Gunnery Lopez was here this morning. He's the coordinator for many of our lakeshore counties.
Yes.
40 years of dedicated service to Toys for Tots as being the coordinator.
Gunny was a student of Jim, who does the Oceana program. He was his student when he was in school, and now they are.
Wow.
So now they are both running programs. Gunny does Ottawa, Allegan, and Van Buren counties.
Wow.
And Jim and his wife Sheila do Oceana County.
Well, I got to meet them the other day.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
And they were here this morning. So he was telling me about that story. I didn't put the pieces together that was who he was talking about.
They greeted each other with a hug this morning and said, "Hi, Dad."
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, and you always say that this is creating our next generation of givers, and that's a beautiful example of that.
Yeah, you know? To hear the kids talk about it this morning on the air, and to talk about the importance of it, it just warms my heart. I love that we're collecting toys, but I also love what it's doing in the lives of kids who really recognize the joy that can be found in helping other people live their best lives.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that.
We collected these toys. We filled up the trucks. Now what happens to them? Where do they go?
They go back to some sort of a warehouse or storage facility to be sorted. So I'll use Kent County as an example. They have 4 different distribution sites around the county. And on the 20th of December, we'll be distributing those toys to families. By the way, we set it up like a store. They get to shop. They get the joy and dignity of picking toys for their kids. Maybe they see the thing their child wanted, or something that they're interested in, or that is developmentally appropriate for their child. They get to shop. So right now they go to a warehouse, they get sorted by age group and gender, and then they get boxed up and sent to the distribution sites for the 20th.
Wow.
So there's a lot of work that still has to happen to turn those toys around, but this year we need them. So we're taking them right out of the barrels and turning them around.
Talk about the volunteers, because they need an army of volunteers to make this all happen, right?
There's nobody paid.
Yeah.
And even you interviewed Liz. You've interviewed Liz a few times, the Kent County coordinator. She puts in 3 to 4 hours at night responding to people's emails.
Wow.
And we get lots of requests for people to come and come to parties, company parties where they collect toys and they need somebody to come pick them up. Working in the warehouse, sorting. There's a crew of people that work in the warehouse all the time. They take vacation days from their real jobs to sort those toys. It is the most. Well, you're out there with these folks every year in the parking lot. They're lovely people.
Yeah, they really are.
They just care about the program and about kids.
I think to your point, it is heartwarming.
Oh, very much
that's
so.
the best part of it.
And I remember last year I volunteered on distribution day, and
did you love it?
I did, just to see the families come in, and everything is organized. Your child's age, their gender, and they come in with just that grateful smile, and they're just that gesture of thank you, and they, like you said, they get to shop around, fill their bags. We're not talking a skimpy gift here. We're talking nice gifts and bags full where they can head out and say, my kid is going to have a great Christmas. So that distribution morning or day that we go out and help is really big too.
Yeah. I think they have a dignified, lovely experience, and that's always the goal. And then for the child, maybe they don't always know their parent got the toys from Toys for Tots, but some do, because I've met dozens and dozens of people as adults who knew as a child that their toys came from Toys for Tots. And to tell a child you matter, you make a difference, this community cares about you, good stuff.
Absolutely. So we can still help out too, right?
Yes.
How do we do that?
The barrels are still out, but they will be pulled after this weekend, starting next week. So, but we'll take them here at the station. Really, we're cutting off our messaging on Wednesday next week, but we want them by Friday, if we can get them by the 19th. And particularly difficult age groups. Do we have time for me to say it?
Oh, yeah, please do.
Okay,
please
good.
Go, yeah.
Difficult age groups. Infant is tough.
Which you would think that would be the opposite with teenagers, right?
3 to 5 and 6 to 8, you get a lot of those. They're fun to buy, right? They're all the fun little cute little toys. And then boys, a particular 9 to 12, but also girls. Kent County only serves to age 13. Every county is different in terms of the age group that they're, any community, any program only has to give what the community puts in those boxes. And that's why we always make these urgent pleas, to help us fill those boxes with donations.
Oh, I mean, it's just a spectacular effort. A few seconds ago, you were seeing the QR code. We want to also let you know you can text toys to 616-559-1310 as well. Regardless of how you do it, you're going to be able to find our Amazon wish list too, and that's where you can maybe donate to, just buy a toy right there. It'll get shipped to where it needs to go. And of course, 13onyourside.com is where you can find that information as well. Still, I'm just so blown away every year that we do this.
Catherine, I have to ask you, because you've been doing this since it started out.
Long time.
Long time. I'm going to put a timestamp on it. But just you doing this year after year, seeing the growth, seeing the talent, and, with, change and whatnot, what do you get out of it personally and being able to just kind of spearhead it? I know it's a lot of moving parts, a whole lot.
And a lot of work.
A lot of work,
It's gratifying work, though, and it's teamwork. It's seeing you guys mobilize around it and take it on as your own, You guys are proud of that. I mean, I love planning it with you because you care. And so I just love the teamwork. I love the end result, of course, the child with a toy on Christmas, but everything I said, the larger stuff about the community, about children learning about giving, I just think it's a terrific program. Sometimes when you just look at toys and you go, a toy, what? A toy. There's so much human need right now, right? Families can't put food on the table. They're struggling to pay the bills. A toy? A toy.
Yeah.
Again, talk to those people in their adulthood who received this as children. It means way more than just a toy.
Yeah, absolutely. We got about 15, 20 seconds left. I want to ask you, when will we know the final numbers?
You mean
year?
from this year?
Yeah, just the overall in general.
Yeah, well, what they do is, a lot of people register. You have to hope they all show up to pick up their toys. They don't always. They do an after report, and that will be first of the year, really, is when they totally have the numbers.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Of course, we know there was a lot of support, so I don't even think we need to see the number, right? We know that people really showed out.
Tens of thousands of children in West Michigan receive toys through Toys for Tots program.
Oh, well, we're happy to help with that effort. Catherine, again, thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys.